All right, first time I'm live here at YouTube. So this is just a bit of a tryout. First time I'm doing this, just seeing how it goes, just sketching and painting here these apples. So I haven't even made an announcement about this. I just wanted to yeah, like um, in a relaxed way, without any pressure, just draw here. And we'll see how it goes. If it's a success, I might repeat it. Hey, hi, my first viewers here live. So my first time live ever here on YouTube, and you are my first viewers. So congrats. Thank you, Rachel. I'm trying to draw and read the comments here at the same time. I'll do my best. And I'm going to try and paint these apples in like about an hour. Just do my thing. Hi, so many people already. That's really nice, especially because I didn't even make an announcement. So you are lucky. Well, thank you, Jamie. So, like before I started this stream, I was actually trying to do this all with my laptop on like the program OBS, and it didn't work. And after like 2 hours of trying, I gave up. So now I'm just doing this with my phone. I see we also have a viewer from Russia. Hi, Gigi. Welcome to the stream. And I'm seeing Egypt. Well, hi everyone from Amsterdam. Or Janke, someone else from the Netherlands. What iPad I have? I'm not even sure which model this is. I believe I bought this one in 22, so it's not the latest iPad Pro model. But I just suck with like technology and like all these like generations of iPads. So guys, I'm trying to keep up with the comments. I can't promise I'll be able to manage it, but I'll do my best. Well, that's great to hear, Angela. So even Los Angeles. That's great. I try to figure out a good time to do this live stream. Like over here right now, it's almost 6 p.m. So I thought that would be a good time. And I have done live sessions in the past, but those were always add design cuts and not any live streams on YouTube. So this is kind of exciting, and I always have to be aware that I keep breathing. That's a really important thing. Keep breathing. I just start talking too much. So now I just need to focus on how I'm going to paint this. Oh, so many kind comments. Thank you. Just gonna try and do my best to create these apples. And every once in a while, I need a bit of water. Usually, when I make a recording, I just cut those parts out, but now that's not possible, of course. I'll just make a couple of layers for these separate apples. Not really focusing on the precise color yet, just roughly the shapes. Well, that's great to hear. Tuco, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Well, right now I'm using my Flotastic brush. It's part of my Flotastic set that's available at Patreon. I named it Flotastic brush because it's really one of my favorites. It has a nice texture. I just hope I'll be able to focus to finish this. I'm not sure if you know that feeling. I really had that when I was younger that I couldn't really stand it when people were watching me when I made a drawing, especially when I was like 6 years old. Even when I was older, I was like, just don't look at me. Let me think. Um, yeah, I'll use my basic flow brush, and I'm just going to do some basic shading. No, Scruffy, I don't use a screen protector. I'm always just working like straight on my screen. And mainly I just try to protect it between, well, when I'm not using my iPad. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, I am changing my colors. Well, that's right, Nana's art therapy. I didn't give a heads up this time because this is just like me trying this out, this whole live thing, and I was kind of nervous. I was procrastinating all day and all week, all month maybe. So I didn't notify anyone. I just wanted this to be like, yeah, I just didn't want to feel too much pressure. But maybe, well, probably next time I'll give a heads up, a notification. So yeah, so more people can join if this is a success. Size of canvas, I'm using canvas that is 3,000 by 4,000 pixels. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna blur my colors. This is just the rough part, and I'll definitely blend it later. This is just me trying to figure out the colors. I'm seeing some like yellowish tones on the apples. I'm gonna try and put some of that in. But I'm glad that there are already so many people watching, even though I didn't give a heads up. It's great that you guys are here. Hi, Noor. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but I hope so. And I'm happy you're here, Mama Bear. Well, that's great to hear, Kevin. Well, thank you, A star. I am noticing, by the way, that the white balance of my iPhone is not entirely correct. Everything looks a little bit more bluish. If I use lower opacity, well, at this time, this brush I'm using is at 100% opacity, but it is a brush that is more transparent. It's my basic flow brush. So it's nice. It's a nice brush to use when layering colors. And no, Gary, I don't really do animations. I have a couple of videos on my channel, but animation isn't really my thing. I just wish I could have some music on, perhaps, but I wasn't sure if that would be a possibility because of like copyright issues. Hi, grilled cheese. Well, I actually have realism painting tutorials at Patreon, including stuff like this. I'm not sure if I'll be able to yell really loud constantly. I wouldn't be able to breathe, probably. Well, thanks, grilled cheese. Thanks, Douglas. That's really nice to hear. Hi, Figgy. Hi from Amsterdam. And thank you, Art with Sienna and Olivia. Thank you so much, Lisa. Let me just get a sip of water. That's awesome. Kushbu, am I pronouncing that correctly? I hope so. Yay, thanks, Rachel. How long I've been drawing? Well, I actually, yesterday I realized that I've been doing digital art for 20 years already. But before that, I used traditional media. So I painted and I did a lot of pencil work. So if we would really count everything, then I guess I'm already drawing and painting for like it makes me sound really old, but like 34 years. But I remember the first time I saw digital art, my boyfriend actually showed me on a website which is called CG Society, and I saw the artworks and he was like, "Yeah, this is what you can create on a computer." And I was like, "No way. Is that possible?" And immediately I thought, I need to have that. I need to have all the tools to create stuff like that as well. And that's when it started, actually. No, no, I didn't used to be an art teacher and not a teacher by in any way, no teacher at all. I actually studied psychology before I got into this. And after that, I became a wedding photographer, but I never stopped drawing and painting. Oh, that's great, Adrian. Yeah, there he is. I thought it would be nice to have him here since he was really a great source of inspiration and relaxation, especially when I went to the university. And I always love just watching Bob Ross on like a Sunday morning. And no, I'm not classically trained in art. I'm fully self-taught. Well, bye, Ham's not epic. Have a great day. Yeah, I think so, Nicholas. I think you'll be able to watch this live session later. But like I mentioned, this is my first time. This is like a tryout session. But I do believe you should be able to watch the replay. Thank you, Mama Bear. That's really kind of you to say. Tips on choosing colors. Well, what I usually do when painting realism like this is I just go for like a first color, and it doesn't even have to be super close to what it should be eventually. And then I just tweak it. It's easier to just start with something and then figure out, oh, it needs to be a bit more towards the blues or more towards the yellows. So I just start somewhere and then tweak it. Oh, that's so cool. Milica, am I pronouncing that right? That's really that's just a great observation. Thank you. And I'm happy you find my voice to be relaxing. I actually, when I was studying psychology, I did this research on mindfulness meditation. So, and I had to record the whole mindfulness meditation session. So perhaps that's where I got it. Just trying to catch up with your comments. Well, thank you, Sat Panda. I hope you have a great day at work. Thank you for dropping by. And how long I've been using Procreate? I think 6 years now. Not entirely sure. Just gonna try and find a brush that can give me some texture right now. Maybe my stippy brush. My canvas size is 3000 by 4000 pixels. Yeah, usually I go for something that is around like 3000, sometimes a bit below, sometimes higher, but it can be like 2000 by 3000, 3000 by 4000, or if it's square, like 3500 by 3500. Well, morning dew, this isn't a tutorial actually. This is just me painting a bit. So this won't be published as a tutorial. But I do have an Apple tutorial somewhere, I believe. But I've created so many tutorials that sometimes I forget what I have made. And I, and I had actually had a hard time wrapping my head around what you meant with like but you mean millimeter probably, right? First I thought you meant pixels versus like vector art, but yeah, millimeters. Yeah, how can I explain that? It's like if you go for millimeters, you can set your canvas to, for instance, 300 dpi, and then for every inch, which is a bit confusing when you're using millimeters, of course, but for every inch, there will be 300 pixels. So it's just an easy way. If you set it to like millimeters, centimeters, or whatever, you can make sure that you have enough pixels so that when you print that work on that size that you have created, then it'll look good. You'll have enough pixels. So if you would set your canvas to like 300 by 150 millimeters, I don't know, and you set it to 300 dpi, then Procreate will calculate the amount of pixels you will need. Well, the main brush, I'm not really using a main brush at the moment. I'm switching back and forth. I just used one of my blending brushes, and usually I stick with my basic set, the brushes in there, and my Flotastic set, which is available at Patreon. Guess I'll just turn my sketch off. For the texture, I used the Stippy brush from my Flotastic set, and also the blending brush, the grainy blender, also helped with the texture. Well, Liz, it's my first live as well, actually. So you're in luck. Well, of course, it really depends on how big you want your print to be. If you'd like a really big print, then I would definitely advise you to dive into it. But usually, when you go for 3,000 pixels or more, usually it's sufficient for medium-sized prints. Well, it's not really a game, but if you mean the app, this app I'm using is Procreate, and it's available for iPads. Yeah, 5,000 by 5,000 should definitely be sufficient. But indeed, if you have an iPad that can't handle a lot of layers, then it would be wise to use a smaller size. Well, I might have plans for future lives. Um, yeah, if this is a success, and if you all feel like, yeah, you should do that more often, then I definitely might. I'm liking where these apples are going so far, so far so good. Well, Gilch, for iPhone, you have Procreate Pocket. It's slightly different, but it also works great. Well, that's good to hear, Adrian. I'm happy you're enjoying it. And perhaps if I do this more often, I'll become more relaxed as well. Might get easier. I guess it's not on Android because nothing can beat the iPad and an Apple Pencil. But for the exact answer, you'd have to ask the Procreate team. My favorite genre, I don't know. I find doing realism to be very relaxing. I don't really have, well, I guess my favorite genre is whenever it's colorful and cheerful. Thanks, Christine. If I ever do non-digital art, well, rarely. Sometimes when my kids are using like pencils or like micron pens, then I'm tempted to just draw along. But usually, I don't have time, and also I try to spare my arm outside of like working. Well, I learned to do art just by doing, actually. I'm completely self-taught. Well, when I was younger, I bought a lot of like art books with the typical step-by-step how to draw a dog or how to draw a horse type of lessons. But I was just always drawing. Thank you, Jamie. That's so sweet. I'm sure that if I do this more often, I'll get less stressed, and it'll get easier. And Christine, if you have two iPads, well, I have two iPads, and well, I have like the same version of well, like the same Procreate will open up on your new iPad, and if you have um, Apple iCloud, it'll put all your artworks on your new iPad and the new Procreate, but it's not like it will synchronize. So whatever I create on this iPad won't show up in my Procreate on the other iPad. Yeah, well, when it comes to differences between brush sizes, I'm not entirely sure why that happens for some people, that the sizes don't correspond. What you can check is if you have dynamic brush scaling turned on. No, Z, there won't be a tutorial for this specific piece, but I have an Apple tutorial. I'm not sure if it was on YouTube or at Patreon actually, but I did something similar with a red apple. Well, actually, if you are heavy-handed and if you're having issues with pressure, then you can always try to adjust your pressure curve. Mine is like this, but you can play around to change how much pressure you need to put on your pen. Oh crap, I turn off my selection. Oh my, oral, that's amazing. 2019. That's such a long time ago. I think it's great you're here. At my first live stream, actually, first time ever at YouTube. I've been at live sessions before at Design Cuts, for example, but that was never on my own, just talking to my screen. And now, Gilch, I don't want Mr. Beast. Yeah, Bob Ross is here as well. There. He's giving me some mental support. Which game I know? You mean like video games or board games or other type of games? I don't know. Or the crazy Mr. Beast games. These water droplets sure are the most work in this piece, but they're definitely going to add a nice touch. No, I don't really play Roblox. That's more so, yeah, that's something my kid does. Sometimes I play along with her, but it's not really my thing. Used to play Minecraft a lot in the past, but hi, Yoga Giggly. Welcome to the stream. Ah, that's wonderful, Luna. Hi, Lexi. This is actually my first stream ever, first live stream here at YouTube. Well, welcome to the channel then, Lexi. Well, welcome, Benny Benny. I have a few videos on animation and Procreate, but yeah, just a few, not a lot. It's not my main focus. But I have a special playlist on my channel with all the animation videos. So if you go to my channel, you should be able to find it. Oh, thank you, Dom. I have some dog and bird um, painting tutorials at Patreon, actually. And perhaps I'll do one on a live session sometime. Hi, Doodling Music. Welcome to the stream. That's really great, Arl. And I'm happy you're here at my first stream. Hey, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but Katalu? It's great to see you here. Now, these droplets sure are daunting to make. Yeah, I'm either gonna make a layer on top. I'm not sure. I might try a little trick with these droplets. But, well, the important thing is to just get those shapes in. And then I'll see how I'll turn them into droplets. Well, that's good to hear, Megan. I'm happy you enjoy it. Yeah, it is a surprise, this live session, indeed, because I didn't notify anyone beforehand because, well, this is just like a tryout. And also, I didn't want to get too nervous about this. Didn't want to feel too much pressure. But next time, I probably have to do an announcement first. Hey, Chris. Yeah, Suresh, my tutorials are only for Procreate, but there are a lot of people that follow my tutorials using apps on Android like Ibis Paint or oh, like a Clip Studio Paint is also one. So there are options. Yeah, sure, Luna, go ahead. It's all fine if you want to share your Instagram here. Yeah, no, I don't use Paperlike. Actually, I can't stand the sound of pens going over the Paperlike screen protector. So I won't ever be using something like that. Thanks for being here, Luna. Hoping to see you next time. Now, this is not a sketchboard. I'm not sure what the name of this thing was actually, but I believe I have it on my website. Sketch Slate, I think. It's like two guys that create these boards completely by hand. It even has my logo on the other side. It's really nice. Yeah, like the real version that they sell also has a little indent where you can put your charger. But I asked them to remove that for me. Or, well, not remove it, but just don't carve it out. I could work on this for hours more, but I think, well, if we look at it from a distance, it looks like apples with water droplets. So I'm happy with the result of this first ever YouTube live stream. I hope you have enjoyed it as well. I think it's really great that you guys helped each other in the chat and that you are able to share tips there. I think that's really nice. And I'm hoping to see you again next time for another session. And I'll be sure to give a heads up next time. Now I know how this works. I know I can handle this. So yeah, thank you everyone. And yeah, I'm going to close the session. Thank you so much for being here. Well, thanks, Figgy. It's really the artwork. But thank you. That's a great compliment. Well, hugs back, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day. Now I need to figure out how I can close this session. Um, so yeah, I think I just need to press the X. Oh, Flow Ever a fan. That's so sweet. Okay, bye.